ever thought about the power smartphones holds on your everyday life? Whether you want it or not, everyone and everything on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest is there on your phone. The enormous information present on this ubiquitous device and the allure of the virtual world is severely limiting human-to-human interaction. I have witnessed it firsthand on a recent flight from Houston back home to Dallas. I was seated in the middle row. The person sitting to my right was a young man. I smiled to him, said hello. There was no response. I raised my voice. How are you doing? No response again. Then finally I realized there was no way he could hear me because his headphones were on. I turned to the young lady to my left, smiled to her. She was busy browsing through albums of pictures. There was no way she could see me. I thought about the three monkeys of Gandhi. First one, shut his eyes. Second, his ears. Third, his mouth. See no evil, hear no evil, talk no evil. As the flight took off, I felt like sandwiched between Gandhi's monkeys with my co-passengers, mouth, ear, eyes shut. Except, unlike those three wise monkeys, my co-passengers saw nobody, heard nobody, spoke nobody, because they were glued to that damn phone. Throughout the journey, they were commenting, liking, feverishly scrolling through jokes, cartoons, memes. Minutes turned into hours, hours passed into the afternoon passed into the evening, but their fascination with the phone continued non-stop till we reached Dallas. Friends, we are all created with the senses of touch, sight, and sound. Those senses connect us to our fellow human being. Should we let social media control our body and mind? Should we let this phone pull away our faculties of sight, sound, and touch? Let me examine this question through the life stories of an amazing human being. His story changed my life, and I believe it will change yours as well. It was the year 1981. At the Crown Plaza in the city of Boston, a crowd gathered to listen to a young man who had upended the way our world lived and worked. They were about to witness the unfolding of a technical revolution, a creation far beyond anyone had ever done before. As the excitement was growing, the keynote speaker, the person everyone was waiting to hear, was nowhere to be found. The frantic organizer finally spotted him backstage. He was sitting on the floor, cross-legged, completely still, immersed in dhyana, he was calm and quiet amidst the chaos around him, like a perfect yogi. In the year 1974, he was a 19 years old teenager, and he took a spiritual journey to India to seek enlightenment. While staying with a family in the countryside on the foothills of Himalayas, he came across a book, Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yoganand. After his chance encounter with Yoganand, he would come back and reread that book once in a year, every time, till the end of his life. I was fascinated and bought this book. Paramahansa Yoganand is widely revered as the father of yoga in the West, but his singular contribution was the writing and the publication of his autobiography in English language, which is considered as a seminal work where a yogi describes the transformation of his spiritual life to the Western world. As I sat down to read the book, I completely lost track of time. The book talks about human cognizance and the capability of human beings. Yoganand takes us through the mysteries of the universe and the purpose of human existence, which is to connect to the universal Father or God. The book illustrates the power of human mind to create miracles, alluding to a higher realm on which human minds can operate. As I reread and dive deeper into the pages of the book, I learned that self-realization is a higher form of yoga. The journey to self-realization is to go deeper inside and uncover the infinite potential which exists in each of us. It is a journey far beyond physical exercise. To disconnect from the worldly distraction, to quiet the chattering mind, and complete relaxation of the body and mind are some of the techniques to begin with. When you relax your mind, you create a space. When you create a space, you allow your creativity to unfurl. And when your creativity unfurls, it is the peak inner acumen. At this stage, innovation happens. The man who, at the teenage age of 19 years, took that spiritual journey to India, who read the book, Autobiography of a Yogi, who could stay calm, quiet, unshaken in the event of any eventuality or result, became the greatest innovator of our era. He unfolded a new simplicity in human interaction. He created a new innovation no one had ever thought before, even though he was struggling with cancer in the last 10 years of his life. Friends, it was Steve Jobs. The teaching of Yogananda reverberated throughout his life and even in his death. During the memorial service held at Stanford University in the year 2011, all the attendees were handed down a brown bag. Inside it, there was none of the dazzling product he created. The farewell gift of Steve Jobs to the world was this little book of yoga. Friends, there is so much natural wisdom within us, yet we choose not to access it. We choose to give up our faculties of touch, sight, and sound to the world of instant gratification. We have created a society which rewards the followers because we have been subservient to influencers, YouTubers, anything virtual world. Friends, let's not fall into it. Let's not this machine take control of the inner power of decision that we all have. Let's follow the journey of self-realization. When you connect to your innate wisdom, your creativity unfolds. And when you let your creativity unleash, you create life, and you change your life, and you changes everyone else's life. That was the farewell gift of Steve Jobs to the world, and that is what he wanted all of us to think about, recognize, and live by. Madam Toastmaster.